Yo, what's up, my beautiful people? Back again for another episode of How I Did It Behind Pitch Please. Episode 2, Trigger Alert. My girl Blake, aka Caitlin. Shout out to her. Anyways, the one thing I keep learning as a creative is your ideas are never going to be perfect. You showing up and your effort can be consistent. A lot of people hesitate because they want their art to be understood. They want it to be accepted. They want it to align with their intentions. But when your desires outweigh your expectations to the point that you never execute, and if you do execute and you execute from a mind frame of limitations and doubt, you get stuck in overthinking the wrong things. Creation and creating is not always about being ready. It's about being willing. It's about being willful, and it's about finding a win even when you feel weak. And that's why I keep saying trying is lying. So trying is basically preparing yourself for an excuse before action can ever even take place. And execution and having a huge expectation is showing up and preparing for the outcome, even if the outcome isn't promised or guaranteed. So every time I make an episode of Pitch Please, I keep reminding myself, push past my patience, push past my problems, push past my pauses for an opportunity within this moment. Let's do it. So episode 2 with Caitlin was designed to be loud, to be triggering, to be uncomfortable in the best way possible. Pitch Please was supposed to be a satire on types of people that keep walking into this creative studio, creative space with the wrong intentions, but with the biggest, boldest confidence in the world. So Blake, a white lady, feeling her vibe, feeling herself, poetry aligned with BLM, and trying to perform some type of allyship, while at the same time being a little bit of cringe, but a lot of bit of funny. And the perfect way to create that dynamic is put a white person in front of some black people. Just to keep it simple. And so this episode was really big on the joke, the critique, and the conversation. A controversial situation disguised in a comedic skit. And I knew if we were able to execute it in the right way, the right people were gonna laugh or feel exposed. Either reaction, we did a great job. Of course, we start with the original shot that we had in episode 1 with Amber. Now we're starting to get into my cinematic bag, start to add colors, elements, and to make it look more so creative from a visual perspective. Now, we don't have the traditional hooks in these episodes because, again, I just wasn't thinking there. And I knew hook culture was important, but I didn't figure out a way to implement it in the best way yet. So I kind of just went with the whole running food joke all throughout most of the episodes as fast as I can. This was probably the slowest intro to really build up to Blake's entrance, but throughout the season we get a little faster at it, so check it out. As you see in the first frame, we do the same thing that we did last time, but now we've added LED lights into the scene. Now this is on. I'm showing the screen. I don't think I showed the screen that much on episode 1, but again, see what we're doing here. Now it's kind of distorted because I'm looking through my Dropbox, so excuse this cup right here. But again, same elements. I have something in my foreground and a whole bunch of stuff in my background, shooting into the triangle of the room while I'm lighting Amber in extremely soft light. I'm putting a little bit of red tone to try to feed back from the LED light that's kind of playing onto her skin. Of course, it's not. It's just the light that I'm shooting at Amber, just to suggest that that is motivating her skin tone. As we proceed, full light, no characteristics, because she has to settle down into the seat. Boom. As she settles, now we get into her bag. Now we neg this wall right here with some black tone. Now I'm trying to create light to dark. As you can see it, shooting on the dark side. And as she moves towards the right side of her face, it gets a little bit lighter. Now we've added all these elements, all these lights and all these pictures. And we also added a glow to her back of her hair, because she has big hair. Wanted to illuminate that a little bit so she can pop out from the background. So right here, Amber's a little washed out. She's a little lighter than Tave. She's lit from both sides. So right here, we're shooting the lights on the same side of the camera, which is probably a mistake on my part. I'll do better in season 2. But I'm loving Sienna. Everything's locked in with her. Now this is our 2 shot. This is probably one of the most important shots of the show. Now right here, the key light is coming from the left side, shooting at both of them, as you can see on Tave's glasses and on his black wall. Just create a better scene. I'm putting a little bit of floor just to create more interest in the scene. And this little bit of desk here plays with a little bit of foreground. The two shot is probably one of the hardest shots. Back to the single, back to another single, then boom. We're kind of cool right here. These are little insert shots. We can do a lot with these, but ultimately you just kind of want to keep it plain because you want the viewer to be able to read it perfectly with no problem. So I put down the lighting a little bit more. I made it more orange just to give it a more level tone. I feel like their skin is really, really soft and it's really playing well to the characteristics of the scene. So now as Blake enters, now of course she has a lot. She has a lot brighter skin than both of the girls, but you can see the keys on the opposite side of the camera, and we're shooting onto her shadow side. Also adding the studio, making it blue so it definitely pops out of her skin. And I love the fact that our studio is kind of into the triangle of the room. That's one of the most important parts of all our frames in Pitch Please. But we kind of go through it. So yeah, singles. There's no more special shots here. Again, everything's we're just kind of going through the whole scenario. There's another image of the episode. Go check that out. But yeah, at this point, we're kind of just in our template at this point, and we're just going back and forth. This is a full shot. I love this. The sofa and the stuff and these elements in the background. Yes, guys. Again, like I'm saying, I'm just gonna drill this in the framework. Triangle of the room, if you can, add stuff to it, add shelves, add little records. It just adds these little dots of sprinkleness that just adds so much more character to your frame. And the blue light that's behind her head, that just pops her out of the scene a little bit more. And of course, I'm shooting on the saddle side. Even though it's not too dark, it is a lot darker than the opposite side of her face where the key light is really hitting her. It's like a big soft amaranth hitting her of her face. Left side. Yes. No. Right side of her face. Sorry. Man, I'd be getting messed up with that. More intro shots, more insert shots. But yeah, that was episode 2. Go check it out. Check out Pitch Please on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm really trying to push this, guys. But again, the reason I did this whole episode is to pitch. Please take your ideas from conception to reality. Book yourself, people. Book yourself. And until next time, there'll be you next time. So see you next time. Magnif. Yeah.